Every morning, millions of women over 60 wake up choking on the same problem: thick, sticky mucus that never seems to end. They cough through meals, clear their throats in public, and lose sleep every night. And here's the shocking part: this isn't just old age, it's a warning sign. The truth. Daily mucus is fueling a $1 trillion health market. Companies make billions selling cough syrup, sprays, and pills that mask symptoms while ignoring the real causes. Some even pay influencers to push products instead of exposing the science that could help seniors fix the problem naturally. But your body isn't failing. It's screaming for attention. Hidden allergies, silent reflux, certain medications, even dehydration, all of these can trigger constant phlegm. And the solutions, they're simpler than you've been told. In this video, we'll reveal the 8 biggest reasons women over 60 cough up mucus every day and how to finally stop it naturally. And reason number 4, it's so dangerous. Researchers found it's linked not just to phlegm, but to a massive rise in serious lung disease after 65. You'll find every study and source listed in the description. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you? And where are you watching from? Tell me in the comments. I go through them like case files. And yes, I personally reply because your stories drive what I make next. Now, without any further ado, let's start with number 8, and you'll be stunned how common it really is. Number 8, postnasal drip from allergies. One of the most common and most ignored reasons older women cough up mucus every day is postnasal drip triggered by allergies. Postnasal drip happens when excess mucus from the nose and sinuses runs down the back of the throat, creating constant irritation. Instead of falling out the front like a typical runny nose, it slides silently down, tickling the throat and triggering a chronic cough. For women over 60, the problem is often worse because the tissues in the nose and throat become thinner and less efficient at moving mucus out. Allergies don't vanish with age, they actually change. Seniors may suddenly become sensitive to dust mites, pet dander, or even certain pollens they never reacted to before. A large study in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology found that nearly 30% of adults over 60 develop late-onset allergies, many of them manifesting as cough and phlegm rather than sneezing or itchy eyes. Because the symptoms look different in older adults, postnasal drip is often as diagnosed as just a smoker's cough or blamed on an aging lungs. Martha, 73, spent months clearing her throat every morning. Frustrated by the constant phlegm, she assumed it was something permanent. But after her doctor tested her, it turned out she had developed a simple dust allergy. Using a HEPA filter in her bedroom and rinsing her sinuses at night reduced her postnasal drip drastically. Her cough was not a sign of lung disease. It was her body reacting to allergens she never knew bothered her. Natural solutions like saline rinses, bedroom air filters, or even reducing dairy since it can thicken secretions often bring major relief. But too many older women push through thinking the morning cough is just part of aging, and while allergies silently fuel mucus from above, the next cause works from within. Dietary triggers that change the thickness of mucus and make it much harder to clear. Number 7, chronic acid reflux, GERD. Another hidden but powerful reason older women keep coughing up mucus every day is chronic acid reflux, also known as GERD. Many people think acid reflux only causes heartburn, but in seniors it often looks very different. Instead of burning in the chest, the acid creeps up silently during the night, irritating the throat and airways. The body responds by producing thick mucus as a shield to protect the delicate tissues from acid. This is why so many women over 60 wake up hacking, coughing, and spitting up phlegm, even if they never felt classic reflux symptoms. Take Judith, 70, who was embarrassed by the constant need to clear her throat. She avoided dinners with friends because she couldn't stop coughing after meals. She thought it was her age catching up with her until her doctor explained her acid was rising up at night, coating her throat and forcing her body to draw in the irritation and mucus. By shifting to smaller dinners, avoiding late night coffee, and raising the head of her bed slightly, her morning cough began to fade within weeks. The science is simple. Stomach acid is powerful. It's meant to break down food, not touch the sensitive tissues of the throat or airway. When acid splashes up, even in small amounts, the body reacts defensively by coating everything in. Protective mucus. Over time, this cycle becomes daily: acid at night, mucus in the morning. Natural strategies can make a huge difference. Eating smaller evening meals, avoiding spicy or acidic foods close to bedtime, sipping on soothing teas like chamomile, or even elevating the head during sleep can reduce nighttime reflux. For many seniors, these small changes help stop the endless mucus cycle without heavy medication. And while acid reflux creates mucus through irritation from below, the next reason works by weakening the body's own defenses, an aging immune system that struggles to fight off infections, leaving mucus as the first line of protection. Number 6, side effects of common medications. For many older women, the daily cough and mucus they struggle with isn't coming from the lungs at all. It's coming from their pill box, as when age prescriptions multiply. Blood pressure drugs, cholesterol pills, heart medications, even basic over-the-counter tablets, all of them carry hidden side effects, and one of the most common, excess mucus and chronic cough. A striking example is AC inhibitors, a widely prescribed group of medications for high blood pressure. Studies in the New England Journal of Medicine report that up to 20% of patients on AC inhibitors develop chronic cough, often accompanied by throat irritation and phlegm. The mechanism is simple but sneaky. These drugs increase levels of bradykinin, a chemical that inflames the airways and stimulates mucus production. Women, particularly older women, are twice as likely as men to experience this side effect. The tragedy is that most seniors and even many physicians overlook this connection. They treat the cough as a separate illness, prescribing cough syrups or antihistamines, when in reality the medication itself is the culprit. Seniors end up trapped in a cycle. One drug creates side effects, another drug is added to mask them, and the root cause never gets solved. The solution is often simple, but requires awareness. If the cough and mucus started after a new prescription, seniors should talk openly with their doctor. Sometimes a small dosage change or switching to an alternative drug eliminates the problem entirely. Natural remedies like soothing teas, hydration, and throat lotions can help manage symptoms temporarily, but identifying the trigger is key. And while medications can quietly trigger mucus, the next cause works more directly: an immune system that's weaker with age, forcing the body to overproduce phlegm as its first line of defense. Number 5, smoking or past lung damage. For many older women, the daily cough and thick mucus aren't new. They're the shadow of old habits or past exposures. Smoking, even if it was decades ago, leaves scars in the lungs that never fully heal. The delicate pilia, tiny hairy cleaners in the airways, are damaged by years of smoke, chemicals, or pollution. Once weakened, they can't sweep mucus out effectively, and the body compensates by producing more. That's why so many women who smoked in their 20s or 30s still wake up packing in their 60s and 70s. The past lingers in every cough. Carol, 72, quit smoking 20 years ago. She felt proud, her energy returned, and her lungs improved. But each morning, she still coughed up thick flu that embarrassed her around family. Her doctor explained that while quitting saved her life, the damage done decades earlier left her psyche permanently weaker. The Adro lungs had to use mucus as a constant self-cleaning mechanism, even in the absence of smoke. The mechanism is cruel but simple. Smoke inflames the lining of the lungs and kills the cilia designed to push out irritants. Without them, mucus pulls inside the airways, triggering chronic coughing fits. It's the body's desperate attempt to clear out what the cilia no longer can. Even if the exposure ended years ago, the damage lingers and the cough becomes part of daily life. Natural strategies can still make a difference. Staying hydrated thins the mucus. Gentle breathing exercises help improve airflow. and antioxidant-rich drinks like green tea can reduce inflammation in the lungs. Pulmonary rehabilitation programs designed even for ex-smokers often help seniors regain better control of their breathing. But perhaps the biggest comfort is this. While the scars may remain, the lungs can still improve with care and consistency. And while smoking and past lung damage create lasting scars, the next reason behind daily mucus is even more frustrating. An immune system that weakens with age, leaving seniors vulnerable to constant infections and flare ups. Number 4, chronic bronchitis or COPD. When an older woman wakes up every day hacking and coughing up mucus, one of the most dangerous culprits is chronic bronchitis or its bigger cousin, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. These conditions don't arrive suddenly. They build slowly, often from years of irritation, to the lungs through smoking, pollution, or repeated infections. The hallmark of chronic bronchitis is simple: a cough that produces mucus most days of the month for at least 3 months, and it often comes back year after year. By the time most women notice the pattern, the condition is already well established. Helen Seymour first thought her morning cough was just winter allergies. But as months passed, she realized the flood never stopped. Not in spring, not in summer, not even when she traveled. Finally, her doctor diagnosed her with chronic bronchitis. For Helen, the endless mucus was not a nuisance. It was a red flag that her airways were permanently inflamed and struggling to stay open. The science behind it is brutal. In chronic bronchitis and COPD, the lining of the airways becomes swollen and scarred. The cilia, those tiny cleaners of the lungs, are destroyed. Without them, the body floods the airways with mucus as its only defense. The result is a cycle of coughing, shortness of breath, and constant phlegm that only worsens with time. While these conditions cannot be fully reversed, natural strategies and lifestyle changes can help manage symptoms. Avoiding irritants like smoke and dust, staying well hydrated, and doing gentle lung exercises such as pursed lip breathing can thin mucus and make it easier to clear. Anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric and green leafy vegetables can also reduce flare-ups. And while medication may be necessary, seniors who commit to pulmonary rehab often see improvements in both lung function and daily quality of life. And while chronic bronchitis and COPD represent long-term structural damage, the next cause of daily mucus can strike suddenly silent infections that keep coming back because the immune system after 60 can't keep up like it used to. Number 3, dehydration, making mucus thicker. Sometimes the reason older women cough up mucus every day isn't because of a disease at all. It's because of something as simple and overlooked as dehydration. As we age, our bodies lose the ability to hold on to water the way they once did. Thirst signals become weaker, kidneys become less efficient, and medications like diuretics pull even more fluid out. The result? Seniors walk around chronically dehydrated without realizing it. And when body lacks water, mucus, the slippery fluid meant to be thin and protective, turns sticky and thick, clinging to the throat and airways. That sticky mucus is harder to clear, triggering the constant coughing fits that make mornings miserable. The mechanism is simple. Mucus is made up of mostly water along with proteins and salts. When hydration levels drop, the water content falls, leaving behind a sticky, glue-like substance. This glue traps dust, allergens, and microbes, irritating the throat further. Seniors then cough harder and longer, which strains the airways even more. Natural fixes for this are often overlooked because they sound too obvious. But small changes like sipping water consistently throughout the day, adding hydrating foods such as cucumbers and oranges, and limiting dehydrating drinks like alcohol can transform mucus production. Even warm herbal teas at night can thin out secretions and make the morning cough less severe. And while dehydration thickens mucus and silence, the next cause on our list is even more insidious, a hidden condition that many seniors ignore until it becomes life-threatening. Number 2, weakened immune system with age. One of the most frustrating reasons older women find themselves coughing up mucus day after day is the natural weakening of the immune system that comes with age. After 60, the body's defense system doesn't fight the way it used to. Doctors call it immunosuppressants, a fancy word for the decline of immune function over time. What this really means is that germs, irritants, and even minor infections linger longer in the body. Instead of quickly clearing bacteria or viruses from the throat and lungs, the immune system struggles, leaving mucus as the body's last line of defense. That's why seniors often complain of phlegm that never seems to go away, even when they aren't sick. The science is clear. A study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation showed that older adults produce fewer infection-fighting T cells, and the ones that remain don't respond as quickly. This slowdown allows pathogens to hang around in the airways, irritating tissues, and triggering mucus production. On top of that, chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called inflammaging, makes mucus glands more active. The result, a cycle of cough, phlegm, and fatigue that becomes a daily battle. Natural strategies can make a meaningful difference. Strengthening the immune system through nutrient-rich foods like citrus, leafy greens, and zinc-rich beans helps provide the raw materials for defense. Regular physical activity boosts circulation, allowing immune cells to travel where they're needed. And adequate sleep, often overlooked in seniors, is essential for immune repair. Even probiotics from yogurt or supplements can help balance gut bacteria, which plays a surprising role in respiratory immunity. And while a weakening immune system keeps mucus flowing endlessly, the number one reason older women cough up phlegm every single day is far more shocking because it's tied not only to mucus, but to a dramatic rise in serious lung disease that most seniors ignore until it's too late. Number 1, undiagnosed sleep apnea or lung infections. At the very top of the list, the most dangerous and overlooked reason older women cough up mucus every single day is undiagnosed sleep apnea or hidden lung infections. Both conditions are far more common in seniors than most people realize, and both can quietly destroy lung health while flooding the body with mucus. Sleep apnea is when the airway collapses during sleep, cutting off breathing dozens of times a night. Each pause forces the body into panic mode, creating inflammation throughout the airways. That inflammation triggers mucus production as a defense. Women over 60 often experience a form of silent sleep apnea without the loud snoring men are known for, which is why it slips under the radar. A large study in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that nearly 30% of women over 65 have undiagnosed sleep apnea. Many of them presenting not with fatigue, but with chronic cough and morning mucus. Their lungs are literally suffocating overnight, and mucus is the body's desperate attempt to keep the airway moist and open. Margaret, 72, was embarrassed by the constant wet cough she battled every morning. She never thought much of it until her daughter insisted she had tested. A sleep study revealed she had moderate sleep apnea, and a chest scan uncovered a low-level bacterial infection that had been simmering for months. With proper treatment, her cough eased and her mucus production finally slowed. What she thought was just part of aging was actually a dangerous combination, silently draining her health. Natural support can't replace medical care gear, but it can complement it. Staying hydrated, strengthening immunity with nutrient-rich foods, and sleeping in a slightly elevated position can reduce strain. Seniors should never ignore persistent morning mucus that doesn't respond to simple remedies. It's often the body's cry for help against a condition far more serious than just old age. This is why undiagnosed sleep apnea and hidden lung infections deserve the number 1 spot. They don't just cause mucus, they silently increase the risk of hospitalization, heart problems, and permanent lung damage. For seniors, recognizing this link can mean the difference between years of declining health or reclaiming breath and independence. So, there you have it. 8 powerful reasons why older women keep coughing up mucus every single day and the natural steps that can finally bring relief. From the hidden allergies fueling postnasal drip to the silent reflux that coats the throat at night to the medications that quietly trigger phlegm to the lingering scars of smoking or passon damage. Each one paints the same picture. Mucus is never just old age. It's the body's alarm bell. Now, I want to hear from you. How old are you? And what's the biggest cough or mucus struggle you're dealing with right now? Drop in the comments and just read them. I respond because your stories shape what we cover next. This channel isn't just about videos. It's about building a community where seniors finally get the answers they deserve. If you found value in this video, hit the like button, share it with a friend or sister who might be struggling, and subscribe for more science-backed health advice you can trust. Because the truth is, the trillion-dollar health industry doesn't profit when you solve problems naturally. But we do as a community when you get stronger, clearer, and healthier. Aging may be inevitable, but decline is optional. Your lungs, your airways, and your life still a fight left in them. Don't let daily mucus steal your breath, your sleep, or your freedom. Take back control starting tonight.